I know I've talked to you guys about taking responsibility about your life and about wherever you are right now in your life, in your marriage, in your career, just everything about you. But I can't overemphasize this. If you want to go from where you are to where you want to be, then the first thing you need to do for yourself is that you need to take responsibility for everything that has happened to you. Okay, now recently I remember my past experience with life. Okay, now the only place I've ever been sacked, been sacked, is when I worked for my auntie. And I worked for one of my auntie in London, and she fired me. She gave me some warnings. She told me that she might fire me, and there were family things, personal sentiment and everything that happened, but I spent over a year blaming her. I told everybody that she wanted to fire me, not because of what I did. Okay, now, but when I realized that I was fired because of me, not because of her, it wasn't her fault. I shouldn't blame her. I should blame myself. I started thinking about it. Now, probably she wanted to fire me. She wanted to get rid of me in her company. She didn't want me to be part of the business anymore, but she couldn't just fire me. So she was waiting for a tiny little thing to hold on to, and I gave it to her. So it was my fault. I did something wrong at some point. Probably other people might do the something and they won't be fired. I'm not going to talk about what happened because it's a very long story, but I did something wrong and other people have done it. I wasn't the first to do it, and it's not a big deal in the business. It's not really a very big deal. But then I was fired, and I kept blaming her because she already told me some months before. I gave her the opportunity to fire me because I had to do something wrong, because she can't just wake up and say, Sissy, you're fired. She can't just say that, so she needed something to hold on to, and I gave it to her. Now, did I give it my best? Was I dedicated and committed to my job 100%? The answer was no. Now, if anything has ever happened to you, I don't care where you are, what position you are, anywhere you are in the world, anything that's happened to you as an adult, you are responsible for it. Okay, you are where you are because of who you are. Okay, so you need to start taking responsibility for whatever that has happened to you and where you are right now. This is the number one thing that you can do to start lifting yourself from that position, because when you keep blaming other people, then you are not willing to take the risk to change it. If you're married and you keep blaming your spouse for the bad relationship, the marriage, and that's not working, and what you're saying is that it's not your responsibility to do something about it. You can either work on it or you move. Okay, so it's your responsibility to do something about it. And now, is it that you stay on that marriage and work on it, or you leave the marriage? It's just the way it is. So you need to start taking responsibility. You need to take the risk of whatever it takes to make sure that your life is where you want. The moment you start blaming other people for where you are right now, and then I guarantee that you are not going to find a solution to it. But when you start taking it personal, when you realize that if it's going to change, it's up to me. I brought myself to be here. Now, you make the decision. You are always making choices. You are making choices in two ways. One, your actions and your inactions. There are things you're not doing that you ought to be doing, or you ought to do, or there are things that you are doing that you ought not to do. So you need to start taking responsibility and start checking yourself from the beginning, going back, taking some step backwards, and checking yourself and realizing, or check yourself and discover how you have messed up, because you messed up. Okay, if your life is successful right now, you are quick to say, I did it. But if your life is not working, you are always quick to say, she did it. It's his fault. It's their fault. It's the economy. It's the government. It's the society. It's my street. It's the local council. It's my neighbors. You're quick to, because it's the easiest and convenient thing to do. It's very easy to blame other people. But the moment you start taking responsibility, the moment you start taking actions, the moment you start accepting the fact that it's you caused it, you are the reason why you are where you are right now. Now, if you're successful, you are the reason as well. Then now you need to take that responsibility. You need to take that first step to taking that responsibility, because that's the first step to lifting yourself from where you are right now. If you want to make more money, if you want to be more happy, if you want to have a happy home, if you want to have happy and obedient children, if you want to have a booming business, if you want to go back to school, if you want your grades to change, whatever thing you're doing that is not working the way you want it to work, if you want it to change, it's up to you 100%. 100%. Okay, the reason why you are complaining and the reason why you're blaming others is because you know that something better can happen. But the problem is, you are not willing to take the risk to make that thing happen for you. You are not willing to take the hard decisions. You're not willing to make the right choices. You are not willing to do the hard things to get yourself to where you need to be. And my job as the man on fire is to make you catch this fire, and then you can run with it, so that you can change your life and you can make your dream become a reality. Thank you.